everyone, this is Ambbali and welcome to Ambbali Art Cafe. I hope you guys are staying safe and staying good. Today I am here to talk about a very interesting thing, that is how to add human figure to a particular scenery. So when I am saying scenery, that can be a waterscape, can be landscape, can be cityscape, it can be anything where the human figure works as supporting element. What happens when you do a portrait or when we paint human figure as a primary subject? There we give a lot of attention and we give focus to a lot of details. But when we add human figures as a supporting element in a particular scenery, there we do not need to do the minute details like the hair or the eyes or the nose or the mouth or fingers. There you need to concentrate on the shape, overall shape or the outer shape. You should concentrate on the how the light is falling, on the value, on the darker value, on the lighter value, on the shadow if there is a light falling on the human figure. So that's actually the shape and the value and the light, that where you have to focus when you are adding human figure in any scenery. That is very simple. You do not need to do any detail, you just need to have a few suggestive strokes. You need to concentrate on the shape, you need to concentrate on the light and few details here and there, and that's it. You don't need to add every and each body part or each details. What happens that it's a very simple thing, but to achieve that simple thing you need to have practice and you need to know the right techniques.
So today I'm going to illustrate the techniques here. Hope it will be helpful for you to understand how to paint human figures as supporting element. So I am going to use this paints blue gray from Danielsmith, Perylene red and Phthalo green, and some yellow ochre. Um, these are my basic colors here today, and especially the paints gray. Mostly I'm going to use it for the body, head, and the clothes maybe. um Here I'm going to illustrate first an individual figure, a man probably coming back from office wearing black overcoat suit, and I'm going to use mostly paints gray. uh, I'm starting uh, with the body or the cloth, you can say, to have an idea that how I want it to look. um, the figure is walking towards us and walking against the light, and the front of his body is towards us. This is a very common figure. We mostly see in the cityscape. My strokes are going to be very suggestive and loose, defining the uh, shape without much attention to the minute details. Here I'm doing the legs of the figure. Since the man is walking towards us, I'm very careful to create a reliable posture to uh, suit that. mm, Postures are very important, and it adds character and attitude to your figure. This man should look confident, as I have assumed and I have envisioned. He's walking straight, having a kind of attitude. Even the clothes and accessories do contribute a lot to define the character of any particular figure. Like this guy looks like a young adult with a confident attitude. Um, Here I am adding some dark values to the clothes to make it look like more realistic. um, Adding face to the body, giving him some identity, and not paying much details to the face as well. Here I'm adding a hat to complete his look. A little details here and there. And I'm almost done with uh, his clothes and body. And here my focus was entirely on the posture, on his outer shape, and on the value. Since the guy is walking against the light and walking towards us, um, the source of the light is from the behind, and the shadow is falling front towards us. Here I am using Payne's Blue Gray from Danielsmith. I love this pigment from Danielsmith because when it is applied, well diluted with water, less pigment and more water, it creates beautiful, soft, bluish gray tone, perfect for a cool shadow effect. I have added a little bit of red. The man maybe carrying a suitcase or maybe a bag, just to pep up a little bit bright colors with little bit bright colors and make it look more interesting. Coming back to the pigment, this really looks the gray really looks beautiful when well diluted when in water. um, Let me try now another individual figure, little different from the previous one. Let's paint a figure assuming that it is from a bright sunny day, um, a different body type, different posture, more casual in attitude, and a more brighter one. Here I am using Magnus Blue from Danielsmith um, for the t-shirt, and for the legs, for the trouser or the denim, whatever it is wearing, I'm using the same Payne's Blue Gray. um, um, so here the color, posture, body types are different, and together these all are creating a different attitude. Someone who is enjoying the sun, um, is happy, and more in casual or in a holiday mode, you know um, and the guy is walking away from us, and the source of the light is from his front, and his back is facing us, and it is against the light. So I'm creating more darker values on his back and on the trouser, on the t-shirt, to create more lifelike effect. Now I'm adding the body parts, the legs, the head, and the hands. Very suggestive strokes without concentrating uh, on the minute details, just following the shape and the shadow. That's it. One small tip I would like to share here, that while adding the head, uh, we need to remember that grown up adults head size will be smaller than a young kid. And another tip, um, if you are painting the backside like this man, the shoulder will be more raised than the man who is facing towards us. Adding a little bit of detail to the figure by adding accessories like the bag and the shoes. um, Again, I'm reiterating that not much focus on the details, uh, just few suggestive strokes. These accessories will add a little story and will make the figure look like more interesting. That's it. The last touch I'm doing here by doing the shadow with the same paints blue gray, um, a very soft shadow, and it's falling behind the man. So we can see here that two figures. The first one is a formal actor with more confident attitude walking towards us, while the second one with a different body type is more in more of casual mode, walking away from us. And these are very commonly seen figures in cityscapes and landscapes. So that's how these two figures look, two individual figures, very commonly seen in cityscapes or landscapes. Now let me try another individual figure but with a different ambience and mood. I'm assuming now a young champ, dressed casually, walking on the streets just after the rain. He's wearing bright clothes, uh, maybe in a little happy playful mood, enjoying the weather. mm, that's what I have in my mind. uh, since it is a rainy day, the mood is kind of it's all about setting the mood, and I'm adding bright colors because uh, when it will be reflected in the water on the street, it will create a beautiful ambience of after rain effect. The reflections of the human figure are one of the interesting part that I love to do. It creates beautiful sight and creates a beautiful mood and adds beautiful ambience to the painting. So the guy probably is wearing a denim jacket, and I have used Phthalo Green by Danielsmith, and the trouser. mm, for the trouser, I'm using the same paints blue gray, and again adding some darker value to the clothes and the trouser to make it look like more realistic. I'm working more on the shape and the shadow, and adding face on the body with slight little bit of vermilion hue. But but at the same time, I'm not adding any minor details to the face like eyes or nose or lips. Just few strokes for hair, and that's it. And I'm almost done with the man here. um, I'm going to add the reflection uh, of the figure. um, the guy is walking towards us and his reflection of his clothes adding more interest and creating a beautiful rainy day mood. mm, he seems to be happy and his body language looks playful, and and it seems that he is in a mood to enjoy the weather. I'm adding little details to the street to illustrate the effect more vividly. um, adding the reflections of his clothes, trousers on the street, on the water that is accumulated on the street after the rain. Make sure that you don't overdo the colors while applying the reflection. I'm adding some lines on the street. It will help to complete the entire look, and it will complement the reflection. Here I am going a little overboard. I'm too much tempted to create a small cities in here to make it make the figure look more relevant. um, I guess it will help to understand the study in more practical way, the figure study in more practical way. So going little extra here will not harm anybody. I was too tempted to add the lamp post here, a simple one, and its reflection is going to make it look more interesting. And that's it. I will say I won't overdo it anymore, adding some reflection of the lamp and the figure, and that's it. So um, uh, here you can see the three individual figures, and three individual figures in three different moods, um, completely different moods, completely different body postures, attitude. Now let me illustrate figures according to the perspective. Mostly beginners struggles here. There is a huge confusion about the size and the position of the figure according to the perspective, and this is one of the most important element for a perfect cityscape or landscape. In a scenery, some figures are nearby, or some are walking away, some are very far, some are nearest, some are almost fading away. So you need to have better understanding about positioning the figures um, rightly on the scenery according to the perspective. First thing you need to remember, when we are painting figures in different distance according to the perspective, the heads of the figure should be on the same line. The size of the body and the intensity of the hues will uh, change accordingly, will change with the distance, but the head, all the heads should be on the same line. That's the secret to avoid any confusion uh, while doing figures according to the perspective. Here these three figures are walking away from us, but the third one, left one, is the nearest one. Here I am adding another figure much closer to us, and I just painted the torso, the head, and the legs. And the funny fact is, the figure was looking like it was walking away, but the moment I added a little vermilion hue on the head, it started looking like a face. And I have added a suit with a little bit of front open, with a hint of a shirt. It started looking like it as if it is walking towards us. So if I would have added paints green on the head and raised the shoulder a little more, it would have looked like the figure is walking away from us. Now I'm painting another figure um, with a little more detailed strokes, a figure that is walking towards us and the nearest one among all of them. As usual, I have started with the body and the clothes. Another man in formal, maybe in little hurry, his postures are showing that, and he is in haste. As he is in his posture is showing that he is in haste and walking fast, without paying much attention to his surroundings. The last three individual figures are more relaxed mode, but this guy is in hurry, and his shadow is falling at the front of his body, um, because he is standing against the line. So coming back to the perspective, uh, we can see that these all are the figures. These all figures are positioned at different distance, but um, their heads are on the same line. Only the size of their body have changed, and of course, the details and the intensity of the color are different, and uh, that actually defining the figures according to the perspective. The farther figure is very vague and fading away, and the nearest one has the more details. So that's how it looks. um Now, moving to the next one, I'm going to show you how to paint group of figures. So here in the perspective, we have seen individuals in different distance. Now we are going to have group of people, um, um, together, you know people who are walking together in a group or sitting together in a group of people adds lot of energies, positive energy to your painting. um, it adds a sense of hustle, add life, and make the scene looks more interesting. um, I also myself enjoy painting the group of people together by translating their body language and attitude through their postures, walking style, by painting the accessories they are carrying. So here I am adding some random strokes as the body, or you can say the torso, of the figures, and they all are of different heights. Another important tips, while painting different heights, you need to remember that all of their feet should be at the same level on the ground to avoid as if uh, some of them are on the air, a common mistake people do. So this is a group of young people or friends, maybe travelers or students enjoying the day. They have a very cool and relaxed body language. um, I want to make them look little colorful with the clothes to bring out the energy. um, so added more of the red and the green, and added some accessories like backpacks, some purses. um, mm, Also, instead of adding trousers, I have added shorts, denims, to give it a kind of young vibe. So they all are looking very casual, giving a very cool and relaxed vibe, and um, it's translating the energy of, like as if they are on holiday, or enjoying the weather, each other's company, something like that. um, Painting group of people is lot of fun for me. It instantly pep up the entire painting and adds life to it. So just adding few details and some accessories, as I said. And finally I'm going to add some shadows. um, they I'm assuming they all are like standing against the light, and the shadow is all of their shadows are falling behind. So I'm going to use paints blue gray, the same one that I've used. And that's how it looks. So here you can see a bunch of people, um, of different heights, you know. Make sure that, as I said, that their feet are on the same level on the ground. That's the secret. Not to make them look like some of them are flying on the air. So let me try another illustration, another common scene in a cityscape. uh, Here we have tried that people walking together on the street. Let me try something that people sitting um, uh, at the street side open cafe, enjoying their meal or coffee or drink with their friends. Another very common scene in the cityscape. um, I'm painting the table first. It will help me to move forward and to position my figures against the table. Here, this man is leaning towards the table, maybe reading the menu or adding the chair. Um, Let me zoom a little bit. Um, all the strokes are very simple, without much attention, without giving much attention to the minor details. More focused is on shape of the chair, shape of the table, posture of the body. Here I'm painting the another figure, maybe his friend or his partner. She's more on relaxed, more looking at him, maybe initiating some conversation. um, I'm adding few details to the clothes here, and mm, I'm adding here another figure, probably a waiter. Painting waiter is one of my favorite thing. It's so much of fun, you know. Few suggestive strokes like the aprons, the cap, and the serving tray, and you were done. It's very easy, fun, and simple, and it adds instant life to the painting, according to me. So I am adding the serving plate and on his hand and making it look like more realistic. uh, right now I'm doing the second figure, um, adding little bit of detail, as the lady is sitting with the cross leg, relaxed hand on the table, and looking towards him. Here I am painting the apron on the cap of the waiter, and he's carrying some serving tray. Maybe he's getting their order. Mm, and that's it. Just adding little bit of details to the table to complete the look. A very simple and very quick scene, and but a very common scene that we normally see in a cityscape. And that's how it looks. Just adding few detail of the chair and the table, adding little detail to the serving plates, and few things are on the table, maybe some glass or tray or plates. And that's it. Adding face, hands with vermilion hue. and that's it. I don't want to overdo the thing. um, I want to add a little bit of color to her attire to make it look a little more interesting, and that's it. um, Reapplying the color to achieve the desired intensity. Add a little bit of shadow with the same paints blue gray, um, and that's it. um, Not much detail. I don't want to like, you know, go overboard with it. Might want to add a lamp post near the table to just to give it a feeling, just to give it a feeling of a street side scene, and that's it. A simple lamp post to give it the give the feel of the street side. So that's how it looks, that's how the entire page looks.